Hello everyone! This video is going to be discussing about a topic that will get me in hot water, shall we say, every now and again. This topic is about, let's go back into time. Let's say, I think it was in the 2000s? I cannot remember for sure. At the time, I was getting more open with my own expression. I had basically ditched jeans for leggings, and I was wearing leggings with big sweaters or long shirts, always worn in a tunic style. Not always with the sweaters. The sweaters would just be sweaters because it worked. Very grunge look, like they were torn sweaters and all that sort of stuff, but a gothy edge. They were always black leggings, big stompy boots. I wore makeup every now and again, and interesting hats and that sort of stuff. But I also started breaking into wearing skirts. Not half as often as I wish I could have, but I did. God dang it. That was a cat. Gotta love him. Anyways, so what happened was during this time, in the modeling scene was the rise of a model whose name I will not mention, but from the descriptions I'm sure people will figure out who it was. This model was absolutely stunning. I don't mean for me in a attractive, oh wow, I want to sleep with you kind of stunning, but a, oh wow, I want to do what you're doing stunning. This individual was modeling male clothing and female clothing. The male clothing was, okay. The female clothing was stunning, was gorgeous. There's this one image of him in this gown that is just beautiful. But this gown, it may have been a gown, but it didn't have breast extenuating things. It wasn't really designed for a female body. It was a dress designed for this person's body. And they modeled it with aplomb. It was gorgeous. And this model started really picking up. They started becoming more and more mentioned in like fashion world and that sort of stuff. And the way I encountered this individual was through a forum for the musician Mana, who is kind of one of my muses. If you don't know who Mana is, look him up. He's incredible. He's in the visual kei, Japanese visual kei scene. But this model really started becoming a name in the fashion world. I didn't really know much about the fashion world, but I saw this model and I really started following them. I saw interviews with this model where people were asking, do you want to be a girl? And he said, no, I am androgynous. I like being androgynous and this is me. And I was just like, oh, ho, ho, yes, finally, somebody who gets it. Somebody who's like, yes, androgyny. Not wanting to be male, not wanting to be female, just wanting to be. Not wanting to change your body is what I mean. And this is what this individual said. During that time, there was a rise in males modeling feminine clothing, but as men. Not with full beards and stuff, not like Conchita Wurst, but androgynous males. Smooth faces, makeup, that sort of thing. And it was gorgeous. These men were gorgeous. Not, again, not gorgeous as in, I want to sleep with you. No, gorgeous as in, I want to be you. Yes, I had those feelings. Now, while this is going on, I was also in the cross-dressing community. I had dabbled in cross-dressing, full on trying to pass as a female. And I did. I was mistaken as female quite often. Kind of a compliment. But I didn't like it. It's not what I wanted. And before that, I had considered transition. Because I wanted to wear the stuff that I wore without the insults. That was how it worked in my mind. See, at the time, even though leggings at that time were unisex, men and women could wear them, mostly women wore them. And I had a mother who did not like them. And what she would do is she would insult. And terms that she would insult with often had to deal with my sexuality. I remember one time we were going to be going out for dinner, and we were going to meet my brother and sister-in-law who had just come out of the gym. And so I decided to wear some blue leggings with a shirt. Done nicely. I always dress nicely. I don't dress slovenly when I'm in leggings. I try to put across a good image. And my mother's reaction was, I don't want to be seen in public with you in those faggy pants. I dealt with this from my mother a lot. Faggy pants, fairy pants, ballet pants, tights, in a bad way. Just stuff like that. One time she was like, they're not healthy. They're made of spandex. Spandex isn't healthy. What? They're a heck of a lot more healthy, breathable than freaking jeans. Beside the point. That's the kind of stuff I was dealing with. My peers didn't mind. At first I thought they did, but it turns out they didn't. It was actually a style, and it's what I wore. And I was fully accepted. I'd wear leggings, or I'd wear catsuits sometimes. And I wore them to school. Like I said, I wore skirts. And my mom never learned of the skirts, and she won't. She's just too close-minded. I don't want to deal with that shit. So getting back to this model. A couple of years went where the styles were just awesome. They were beautiful. There were more and more male models modeling feminine styles. This is awesome. Androgyny was like on the rise, and I was hoping it was going to take hold. Then the main designer for this one model, put the model up in this gown that was just gorgeous. Body shaping, body hugging, multi-tiered, and in between the fuzzy tiers were these sheer panels. It was a daring dress, it was gorgeous, but it also had breast forms and it had hip forms. And this model, who said they would not, they basically said that they were not going to transition. They liked being androgynous. They liked being a man. Was there on stage wearing breast forms and hip forms. And I was fine with it. I was like, okay, well, it's one time. Next time this model was featured, same thing. Couple of more shots, same thing. Then it seemed like they went back to no forms, modeling feminine styles, modeling male styles. But I noticed on the male styles, there's something going on here. And then the announcement. Now, people get upset with me because I was upset when I heard this announcement. I should have been happy for this person. a side of me was. But what this person said on the day they said they were transitioning, and a reporter asked them, when did you decide to transition? Because we thought you were happy being male. This model stated, and I quote, "Androgyny is always a stage in transition." Not androgyny was a stage in transition for them. It was androgyny is always a stage in transition. Now, when I was in the cross-dressing circles, there was a little joke that was stated. What's the difference between a cross-dresser and a transsexual? And they did use that term. Answer? About 4 years. Ha 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 ha, so funny. It's a stereotype. Well, all this model did in my eyes, when they said those words, that was like a stab in the back. All they did was support the stereotype. Male-identified individuals that do not follow gender norms in expression are either considered gay automatically or they're transition. My thinking is that this model was pressured by the industry, particularly by that main designer. Because in an interview concerning that first gown, that designer said, I just had to put him in breast forms and hip forms, or something to that effect. No, he didn't. He did not have to put that particular model, or any male-identified individual that was modeling feminine styles, did not have to put them into breast forms. Because you know what? There are women that have breasts that could have modeled that outfit. So I take a lot of shit because I suggest that this model was pressured into transitioning. This is actually hammered home for me because this model, soon after they transitioned, their modeling contracts dried up. This model has disappeared into the ether, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but I've looked up their name, and the last postings from them was like 5 years ago or something to that effect. And their modeling contracts dried up. And at first they identified as female, but last I heard they identified as they. Androgynous. That's why I think this model was pressured by the industry. I can only imagine the pressure because I myself have been told time and time again I would be a millionaire if I got $100 for every time somebody told me that I'm a trans in denial, or that I should transition, or I would make a beautiful woman. No, I want to be a beautiful man. Or I did. I can't really be a beautiful man anymore. I'm 47 years old. I'm getting old. But I was, through choices of my own, I was kind of denied being a beautiful man. Would I would like to have modeled? Oh yes. Gothic styles, fuck yes. A girlfriend around that time was saying that she could get me into modeling. But, you know, I didn't push it because I didn't want her thinking the only reason I was with her was because I wanted to get into modeling, because that was so far from the truth. I loved her. So yeah, this is a sore subject with me because I have people get on my case telling me I'm transphobic because I was sad when this individual said this, when they said that thing about androgyny. Something else that happened soon after, a majority of those male models that popped up during that time either transitioned or vanished. It is my consideration they were pressured. And being in society, being a gender non-conforming male, I can understand why. Yes, there are legitimate people who legitimately feel they are in the wrong body. They just don't match. Well, let me tell you, but I think there are another group, such as myself, that are pressured by social laws, like dress codes, workplace dress codes, school dress codes, all of those sorts of things, by social rules. Women insisting that men appear like men. I mean, they can have their... It's fine. They can have their opinion of what kind of man they like. But damn it, don't put down a guy because he's got the guts to be non-traditional male. And don't put down a guy because he has the guts to actually get out there instead of being in the closet hiding. Another thing I get in trouble with is I state honestly that when a gender non-conforming male announces that they're transitioning, that they're just feeding the stereotype. And they are. There's no denying. Stereotypes are fed. That's it. That's my take on it. It's... Oh, a further thing. Something that's annoying is when a boy makes the news wanting to wear a skirt to school and the parents, teachers, and other people involved insist that they are a boy expressing their feminine side or a boy that wants to be a girl, e.g. trans. And when the boy is told to go home and put on a proper outfit, people say, you can't deny that, he's trans. Why can't he just be a boy that wants to wear a skirt? Why does he have to be trans? Why is there always this conclusion that a man or a boy that does not want to follow gender typical styles is automatically trans? It's just like how gender non-conforming males are consistently considered gay. Yes, some may be gay. Those amongst those male models were gay models, bi models, straight models, and asexual models. So I really wish androgyny would take more of a hold. I wish androgyny would become as accepted as the trans movement. I wish laws, when they were made, like laws concerning dress codes, weren't worded in a way that was trans specific, but was generally specific. In other words, instead of saying a child shall dress in line with their preferred gender, they say a child may wear whatever they wish to wear, and bullying will not be put down, and the clothing has to be within the rules of the general uniform code if they're wearing a uniform. And they have to be, you know, hygiene and exposure. In other words, You can't have kids wearing little tiny skirts with where you can see everything. That should be it. It shouldn't be a child can dress according to their preferred gender. Get gender out of there. Let kids wear what they want, and don't tolerate bullying on if a boy chooses to wear a skirt. And don't tolerate bullying from students, and don't tolerate it from adults. That's it. That's really all I have to say. If you have hateful comments, keep them to yourself. If you have comments, constructive comments, leave them down below. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And have a good day. Bye-bye.